Celeste in Florida wants to provide evidence of something. Wow.
I'm excited.
I genuinely don't know what to think here. So welcome, Celeste. How can we help?
Hi. Okay, so I want to provide evidence that the fabric of reality is made out of a crystal that has memory and emotions.
Yeah, I have questions right before we even get started. What do you mean by fabric of reality? Because reality isn't made of a fabric.
Well, what is reality made out of?
Matter and energy.
Reality. I mean,
right. So, but like when you think about like the physics, like you have the fabric of reality, like how like black holes like sink gravity in, and like everything has like gravity.
Everything has like, okay.
Not everything.
Let's go ahead and have you make your case for whatever it is that you, because you seem to be saying that reality is made of crystals, and I want to know what your area of expertise is and how you discovered this.
Okay. I just want to say I am very nervous to be talking to you guys. I've been listening to you guys for a long time, and
I will tell you in advance, this is almost certainly not going to go well for you.
I don't. Well, okay. Here's the thing I want to say though. At the beginning of this call, you said this is like your 16th year anniversary, and you've never had anybody come to you and prove to you that God is real. And
correct.
I think I'm really, really hoping that I can work through my anxiety so that I can explain this in a way that makes sense.
Cool. Let's get to it.
Okay. So I think that what we need to know first is what is fear. And
fear?
What is what? Fear?
F-E-A-R?
Yeah. Fear, yeah.
Is that related?
What the hell does that have to do with crystals?
Like the universe could exist without fear as a concept.
What? Wait, say that one more time.
The universe existed before fear as a concept existed.
Yeah, fear is something produced by minds. It is a label that we put on minds that are in an anxiety-ridden state. So before there were minds, the universe existed.
Right.
Okay, so why is fear relevant?
So because fear is what we experience, and fear is what we experience that helps us learn how to avoid death. So we are
I don't know how to avoid death. I think death is inevitable, and fear.
Well, every day,
fear.
In
hang on.
Moment, you could be exposed to death.
I have an irrational fear of Victorians.
Makes it less likely that you'll die by avoiding fearful things.
Okay, I give up.
Like you have a fear of crossing the street.
Like I can't even get a sentence in.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fear is the label that we put on a lot of things. Not every fear is rational and not every fear is useful. You could be afraid of spiders, and that doesn't mean that it's something to help you avoid death.
Why not?
Lots of spiders can't kill you.
Yes, there you go. Boom.
I think you're kind of doing
some spiders could kill you and some spiders couldn't kill you, but
none in the UK can kill me.
Be afraid of a spider than you'd be to be afraid of a banana.
Okay, but bananas can kill people too.
Not as
I think probably in the UK, I would guess. I don't have the statistic.
How would you determine that?
I think probably in the UK, more people die of bananas than spiders. I might even look it up.
Well, because bananas aren't poisonous.
They are to people who are allergic to bananas.
You shouldn't be eating spiders.
It's more likely that you would.
Celeste, are you serious? Because this feels like a monumental waste of time. You called in to suggest that reality is made of crystals that exist within the Higgs boson particle that proves God, spirits, and demons are real. And then you start talking about fear, and you're refusing to recognize that not all fears are particularly useful. There are irrational fears, phobias that we try to cure people.
Yeah, I agree.
So what is your point? Because I'm about to lose my shit.
So my point is, if we were to understand that the smallest form of matter that's smaller than an atom is a crystal, then that would help us understand.
It is not.
Do you have evidence that it's a crystal? Like Where have you got the
A
idea
rainbow.
that the smallest form is a
A rainbow
crystal?
exists. How else would a rainbow exist if it wasn't made out of
Rainbows are, first of all, that's not something smaller than an atom. Those are water molecules refracting light. When they're in the sky or it's within a crystalline structure, that's not something smaller than an atom.
Well, what
I can hold a prism in my hand and it refracts light. It's not. Yet there are crystals that can create a prism, but they're not smaller than an atom, and they're not the only thing that can create a prism. Water droplets do it. The rainbow you see in the sky is not from crystals. It is from light being refracted through water droplets, millions of lenses.
Right.
Wait, why do you just say right when I just showed that you were wrong? I don't believe you.
I think if you're going to say that the smallest...
How would that happen if it wasn't a crystal?
Oh my God. Please, Celeste, please go take a fucking science course.
Yeah, this is like school level science.
You have a degree in biology. How can you be this stupid when it comes to crystals? You're saying crystals only, rainbows only come from crystals.
I'm sorry.
You're saying rainbows only come from crystals, and I just pointed out that the rainbows don't come from crystals. Water molecules, water droplets don't have crystals.
But what if water droplets were made out of something that is a crystal?
Well, then you'd be right, but they're not, so you're wrong. That's the way reality works. If that were the case, you would be right, but it's not the case, so you're wrong. Bye.
How am I wrong?
Water droplets aren't made of crystals.
You don't have evidence for the claim that you're making that there are crystals. Like, where have these? We can look at matter down to a very small level, and we have a lot of understanding. And you're saying, I guess, beyond our current understanding. I mean, there's a Nobel Prize in physics, and people are trying to understand this stuff. And as far as I'm aware, there's no theory that crystals are the smallest thing. So I'm not quite sure where you've got this idea from, or what evidence you have for crystals existing at all. I mean, is your evidence because we know that rainbows are caused by, we know how rainbows are caused by light refracting, like Matt's saying. I don't see why you feel like there's a need for crystals to be there. Whether crystals are there in rain droplets or not, it doesn't make any difference because rainbows are formed anyway.
And even if even if water droplets had crystals in them, it still doesn't get you to where you're going with fear and God and demons. This is asinine, Celeste. I do not believe you have a degree in biology, because I don't understand how someone can get a degree in biology and not know the basics of physics and chemistry.
No, but what if in the crystal?
I don't care about what if. I care about what is.
Contains infrared radiation.
Celeste,
we're not
evidence. Here to play what if. We're here to play what is, and you is wrong.
I'm just not maybe I'm not explaining myself properly.
That okay. So Celeste, define crystal.
A crystal. Well, the way we know it is like a crystal of amethyst. So it's like particles stacked on top of each other in a way that you can see through them, and light refracts
particles.
In a certain way.
How can you have a crystal? You said it's the smallest form of matter. So that you're saying there's something smaller. Like a crystal is a structure made from particles, or however you want to describe them. It's made from atoms. And you're saying it's smaller than an atom, but then you're saying it's the smallest possible thing. But in order for a crystal has to be made of other things by your definition here.
Right. So then maybe the reason that we see a crystal like a crystal of amethyst.
I swear, Celeste, if you say maybe or if Celeste, listen very closely. Yeah. If you say maybe or if one more time, you're done. I'm not interested in batshit speculation, because crystals are the structures from atoms and molecules. They are not the smallest thing. So every time we correct you on a thing of science, you want to say, well, if this is the case, or maybe this is the case. Don't come with ifs and maybes. Make your case and present the evidence.
Okay, my case is that there is a crystal structure that makes up an atom. And
Prove it.
We see
Prove it.
crystals is because
Prove it.
nothing else can make a crystal if it's not
Prove it.
We know like the structures that make up.
How did you
atoms.
determine that atoms are made of crystals? Prove it.
Okay. If
Like a crystal is a solid like a form of matter. It is solid as opposed to liquid, gas, or plasma or anything, and it has a structure of atoms. That's like what a crystal is. Someone in chat's probably going to call me out here. I haven't done physics in a long time, but like that is,
right.
you know, it's a solid structure, and you're talking about inside an atom, and inside like the parts of an atom move around all kinds of crazy ways, like electrons and stuff. Like how is this structure holding in place? What is it made out of? Like we know that atoms are made from protons, neutrons, and electrons. So and they're not in a crystal structure at all. So I guess you mean inside neutrons and protons. We know there's quarks inside those, and we know there's nothing inside an electron.
And then right, and quarks are made out of this crystal.
Oh my God, go away. Nope. Quarks are made of crystals. Congratulations. Go get your Nobel Prize, Celeste.
Yeah, definitely.
Glad all that
Definitely right into the
biology
Nobel
studying
Commission.
really helped out. We got way too many callers to continue down the parade of quartz being made of crystals. Or quarks.
Poppy
Maybe
says
she
hi to
confused quarks and quartz. Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting going straight to amethyst.
Yeah.
Like it's not really subatomic.
Please define crystal. Well, we have like amethyst. Like amethyst. All right.
We do have like amethyst.
We do.